Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're here with another Stargate SG-1. For those on Patreon, just to let you know who haven't seen my scheduling post, you will be seeing about 2 episodes a week now instead of just the normal one. There will be a case in a few weeks, though. Or a couple of weeks, I think, where you won't see two because I will be reacting to Buffy the final episode and Buffy the first episode that week. So that is coming up in a couple of weeks, I believe. That only applies if you're on Patreon. On YouTube, you'll still see the Buffy one a week. But with Stargate, for most of the time, you will get 2 episodes a week now instead of just the one, which will help me speed up, especially considering this has 10 seasons and 7 seasons of 2 off-shoot shows. So that's Atlantis and Universe put together. So that's in total about 17 seasons plus 2 TV movies of the SG-1. So there is a lot to get through. So I've decided to increase it by 2. Just want to mention a shout out that I appreciate everyone on Patreon and as well all my subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, let's just get straight on into this. The last one wasn't the best episode. Hoping this one will be better considering its title is Thor's Hammer. So yeah, let's get started.
Dr. Jackson, I understand you've come up with some new theory about the Stargate.
Yes, sir. With cultures, religions, histories.
It's interesting. So they're making something that they sort of did on the Voyager missions. Makes sense. I forgot when Voyager... Were the Voyagers in the 80s? The late 80s? If anyone knows. Oh, may as well just look it up. Oh, okay, so it's the late 70s, my mistake. All these rocks, I wonder where it was filmed. Well, obviously in Canada, but I wonder if it's like what they do in Doctor Who, they go to mines and that sort of thing.
Shh. It's all right.
Because, yeah, it was the sulfur fields for the cold Lazarus.
Moonlight flow in might and main. Knit the bones and take the pain. Now, the next time you want to fight, choose a boy your own. So the hammer is deep underground, inside the mountain.
As long as I have known her, Kendra has harmed no one.
So, we know that the Asgard, as they seem to be called, can actually remove ghouls.
She has been taken by a Gould, and if what you're saying is true...
It is true.
Then help us.
Help us to find our friends.
It is a sign from Thor. Now we can go.
Water. Give it enough time, it'll bring down walls. Even walls just like that. So in a couple 100 years, we'll be free.
Oh, yeah?
What the hell is that? Kendra,
Sam's look
when the Gould was
towards
destroyed within you,
her,
what did it feel like exactly?
you know,
Your wife?
I have to know if there's any hope.
she doesn't have a lot of patience with
It was
her.
very painful. Like needles stabbing inside the head. The beast will do anything to stay in control. It's a battle of wills. Many give up.
Well, Sharae wasn't trained in a temple like you, but she had a spirit. She was a fighter.
You loved her very much.
I still do. I dream about her. It's as if some part.
Great. Tell him we'd love to meet him someday, in person.
So would I. I'd love to meet
It
the
is safe for you to
Asgard.
travel. You should go now.
Daniel, want to start dialing home? Before it starts raining?
Right.
Okay, I'll probably give that episode an 8. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of good things. We learned a lot. Well, we learned some new things that we didn't know. It, yeah, was a really good episode, especially after last episode, which got me a bit down in a way, thinking, oh, sort of almost turned me off watching the next episode. I'm really glad we had a good one like this. Yeah, I was not a fan of Carter's, Sam Carter's attitude towards Gerwin, I think. It was, that was the character that took him up to the mountains. I wasn't a fan of her sort of, how do you put it? Her lack of patience, maybe? I think that might be the best way to put it. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of that. You know, considering what she'd been through, maybe a little bit of patience and understanding would have been better. I feel that Carter maybe didn't show that, or was maybe she was just blinded by the fact that she wants to save O'Neill and Tilk. I don't know, but that was probably the only complaint I've got about that episode. But let's break it down. We started off here learning that there may be another race, the Vikings, or you know, the the Norse gods. Tilk says he recognizes the hammer sign, that all gold, and Jafar taught the symbols to this planet to prevent them from going to this world, that something transpired on Samaria. Samaria? I think it's Samaria. I think that's how I pronounce it. Then they end up going, we end up finding out that they have like this sort of gift from Earth that they'd had the Sagan Institute make. Then we have them here. We have a beam attacking or scanning the entire SG team, and when it hits Tilk, it causes him great pain. And then Jack tries to save Tilk, and they both end up disappearing. Then we find out some new characters. Garrowin is her name, I think. Oh, sorry, I don't really remember the names of the two leading females in this. heroin is one, and the other is, yeah, I don't know. We also find out that she says that Thor would never kill a human to kill an Etin. Then we find out that they were transported later from that hammer. Yeah, we find them here, that they've been transported to the caves, and they see a hologram of Thor. I actually hope this isn't what they look like. I really do. I'd love to see, I'm sure we will, is sometime in the series, see Thor again in his real form. I'm really hoping they're aliens, not humans. Don't, no spoilers, but yeah, that is something I'm hoping. Then we meet this new woman who was apparently a ghoul, and the hammer actually extracted or killed the ghoul that was within her. Tilk and Jack are exploring the labyrinth, where they find bones and symbiotes that were basically eaten. She has a problem with the Jafar and doesn't want to save Tilk. Then she hears the Valkyries, or how she put it. They said, hey, you have to help them. So she ends up doing that. We find out that the staff weapon isn't going to work in here, but the gun does. And we meet this sort of new creature. Here we have them back, talking about the pain and all of that of being possessed or inhabited by a parasite like the ghoul. We found out that there was water coming into the labyrinth, so in a couple of 100 years they'd be free when the walls break down. Here we find an Unis, first host to the Gould, and my God, does the makeup department has done a bloody brilliant job here, because that is an amazing design. It looks really fierce, and yeah, it looks like an intelligent animal, if you like him. Yeah, and then they kill him, they shoot him, think he's dead, his eyes glow. Tilk is wary that it's still alive because Unis had strong regenerative powers. Jack makes a comment about having to stick a stake through its heart. Here we have them slightly lost, and Carter really getting frustrated. I'm, as I said before, not a fan of her attitude, Carter's attitude in this. That's probably my one complaint about this episode, her lack of patience. Hey, I shouldn't be judging. I'm not the most patient person either, but I feel, considering what she went through in her life, it might be nice to show her that little bit of patience and understanding. Then we hear the Unis scream in pain, and Jack's like, no, that's no myth. Then we are finding ourselves walking along this place that sort of brings water to the townspeople. An excellent design. I don't know if this is computer generated. It looks here like that is computer generated. that looks green screen to me, as well as that. So I'm not 100% sure if this is a real place in Canada somewhere, or if it's just computer generated, mixed on a set. Here we have them, Tilk and O'Neill fighting the Unus. They get their way to the cave entrance to access the labyrinth. Here, Tilk tries to go through, and he is immediately sort of attacked by a force field of some sort that is starting to kill the symbiote within him. Jack manages to pull him out. Tilk's grateful. And then Tilk's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going out as a warrior. Understandable. They start fighting. Tilk does a good job against him. And then they try and shoot him into the force field that kills the symbiotes, but he managed to hold on. Tilk then grabs him and holds him in place, risking his own life as well. And eventually then the Unus dies. Then we have very much them talking about the hammer and that it works. And yeah, that there was some real nice scenes here, that O'Neill calling Tilk family, which is really nice. We're sort of getting that Tilk is seen now more than just the alien who joined our side. They see him very much as family. I did realize that Daniel did hesitate a little bit, but eventually he made the choice. I wonder if he made the choice through pressure, or if he feels exactly the same way as Jack and made the choice because of that. I like to think that he feels the same way as Jack, but I could understand if he just did this through peer pressure, basically. Tilk's grateful. They get a present to remember them by. Daniel gives them the Sagan box in order to pass on to Thor, and then they head off through the Stargate. Okay, so that was Stargate SG-1, Thor's Hammer. Really enjoyed it. A solid 8, I'd say. Only complaint would be Carter's impatience. But we learnt quite a few things, that the species of Asgard, whatever they are, or whoever they are, we also learnt that their powers might even be greater than that of the Gould. And I'd really like to see him, which I'm sure we will in later series. We also learned that you can influence the Gould within you, which is interesting. Yeah, but if you want the full uncut, unedited reaction of this, it's available on Patreon. This will be coming out on Patreon on Monday, which there'll be another episode this Thursday on Patreon. There won't be a second episode on YouTube. That it will just be the second episode will be on Patreon. So hopefully, every Monday and Wednesday, is it? Yeah, Monday and Thursday, sorry, on Patreon, you'll get a Stargate episode. That will help get through Stargate quicker. Just so you know, if you haven't seen, basically the Patreon schedule would be Classic Doctor Who Sunday, Monday, Stargate SG-1, Tuesday, Buffy, Wednesday, Classic Doctor Who, Thursday, Stargate SG-1, Friday, Red Dwarf, Saturday, Classic Doctor Who. If you're on YouTube, very much it will be Monday, Classic Who, Tuesday, Buffy, Wednesday, Classic Who, Thursday, Stargate, and Friday, Red Dwarf. So, yeah. As I said, the full uncut unedited reaction is available on Patreon. My social media accounts are also listed in the description below, along with other places you can listen to this. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.